These characters have sort of a strong bond, it seems like, from when they first meet in the film. How did the two of you develop that? Was it rehearsals, or was it just kind of understanding how the characters were?
No, I think it was a mutual. I mean, I've had a crush on Kristen since I met her at JFK, and she wouldn't speak to me, and she was with a bunch of rude people. But,
what? We've never gone over this. What are you talking about?
It was an awkward moment. I got past it.
We're gonna digress.
I got past it.
My team is very sweet.
We were in the lounge. You were with a bunch of mean people.
Oh my God.
I don't want to talk about.
But I was the diamond in the rough.
You were dope.
Yeah. I surround myself with jerks, so I can be like, hey, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Seberg is the story of 3 years in the life of the actress Jean Seberg from the 1968 to 1970, when for her political involvement with the civil rights movement, she was subjected to a campaign of surveillance and lies by the COINTELPRO FBI secret program. The movie is a kind of window into what happened to her in those years and the FBI surveillance operation on her.
There were certain hooks we could really hang our hat on in terms of getting her right, but not necessarily doing a sort of perfect impression. The few Googleable moments we tried to be really finite with and really specific, but what was seriously more important was that it had a flick of energy that felt like her, whether or not it had the perfect timing or looked exact. There's just this impression that you get immediately from the glance away at the end of Breathless, and the certain way that she presents in the screen test for Preminger in the beginning is, she let her face hang out in a way that was spectacular, and she was so young. She was 17 years old, and when I was 17 years old, was completely incapable of doing that.
And Anthony, for you, what was it like to sort of step back into this time period and play this character who was really, active and sort of helping young men of color find their way at the time?
Well, for me, it was all about the wardrobe. I feel like when you go back to the 60s, just to that decade, the African-American experience was so specific in the 60s and 70s, early 70s, that, and it was so specific coast to coast. The idea of who this man was and how he fit into that movement was something that I felt paralleled what I believe right now in this day and age. I feel like we should be focused and very spoken out, not about everyone's problems, but about our communities. The thing about Hakeem that was so great was he wasn't a Black Panther. He wasn't, he was a civil rights leader for himself and, everything that he knew to be his, and they supported him in that.
I feel like we should definitely do a couple picks from the fishbowl, because I think you'll have a lot of fun with this. So if one of you wants to grab it and dig one out of there.
If your cast were to rob a bank, who would be the mastermind? Who would be the getaway driver?
Okay. I'm not the most pragmatic person, but I carry out orders fervently. So I would prefer to drive.
Okay.
But
I watch a lot of crime TV.
Yeah.
A lot. That's all I watch. I could off this whole room. And
I was just gonna say we should be very afraid of this person.
That's all. Wives with Knives. I Loved You, and then it did. All those shows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I watch.
And you're gonna get everyone on point.
Yeah. I feel like that could. Yeah.
You're the mastermind.
I feel like
Mackie's
but you're the director, so
I
you
know.
could.
Yeah, I'll just kind of make sure it's going the right way.